What's going on, chicken friends? It's Donna Little from the Coop Scoop, and I'm out here, even though it is chilly, hanging out with my girls, and they all just walked away from me a second ago. I've been sitting here with them, torturing me and pecking me, and now they are through, and they're going to all sit down and be good girls while I'm making a video. But I saw a comment the other day, actually it was yesterday, in one of the groups that I'm in, and it was a lady talking about how she lost her entire flock of chickens because they had mites. And, you know, immediately I'm thinking, like, how bad did that have to be to lose every single one of them? And, you know, how long had this been going on? So that just made me think, I need to make a chicken keeping 101 common sense edition video instead of just chicken keeping 101 where you're, you know, where we're talking about how you should house them and, you know, what type of feed you should give them and how many nest boxes they need. I think sometimes we maybe, especially if you're a new chicken keeper, you get a little caught up in that sort of thing. Like, you want to know you're doing the right things and you're giving them nutritious feed, and you know, your chicken coop is just like it should be, and, you know, predator proof and all that. All of that is definitely very important, but it's important to just observe them sometimes. And, you know, first of all, for me, like, there's nothing more peaceful than hanging out with my girls. I love to sit in the yard like I'm doing right now. And, you know, like I said, they have all abandoned me, but to just have them gather around me and they'll just talk, and you know, and that's a good time to not just enjoy their company, but to be paying attention. Because there have been a number of times that I have discovered something that I wouldn't have had I not just been looking at them. You know, just sometimes it's just a simple act of looking at them. For instance, when Isabel had Bumblefoot, you know, I just sort of noticed just the slightest of limbs. And you know, chickens, if you know anything about them, you know, they're prey animals, so they try to hide a lot of things. If anything's wrong, you know, they're not going to just be like, hey, you know, I'm sick, can you fix me? You know, they're going to try to hide their illness because that makes them the weak link, so to speak, in the flock. And so you're going to want to just pay attention. And I don't know if I had just run out, you know, for several days in a row after the limp started and not really looked at any of them, if I would have noticed, and it could have gotten really infected. It was very easy to fix that, even though she was the absolute worst patient on the planet. If I hadn't been paying attention, I don't know that I would have noticed, and it could have gotten much worse. So it's sort of that, along that line, because there's a lot of things that can happen with your chickens. And if you haven't gotten chickens yet, I'm not trying to scare you off. Trust me. Chicken keeping usually just goes along swimmingly. Every day is usually just like the day before and everything is fine. But if something is going to go wrong, then you want to be able to handle it as quickly as possible. So if you, for instance, have a hen that's egg bound and you see this chicken and she's isolating herself and she's standing in an odd position, almost upright like a penguin, then you need to know that's something that needs to be handled right away, because if an egg can't come out, poop can't come out, and it's something that can kill them fairly quickly. So you need to get, you know, jump on that and treat it as fast as you can so you don't lose your chicken. There's, you know, when this lady, when she was talking about the mites and losing her entire flock of chickens to mites, that's just tragic. You know, that's something that's very easily treatable. And I know sometimes there can be an infestation that happens quickly, and you know, you can have a few on them, and there's different kinds of mites, and I think some are more prolific than others. But if you can get your hands on your chickens, you know, when I have one sitting on my lap, I will lift their feathers up and I'll take a look, you know, under their hood, so to speak, and see if I see anything going on. Does their skin look healthy? Am I seeing anything crawling around on there? I know that not everybody's chickens are going to allow that. So if you want to be proactive in checking for that, you can go out after they've gone to roost at night, put a headlamp on or get somebody to hold a flashlight for you and just look through their feathers, especially around their vent. And they're not going to go anywhere because it's dark. So, you know, you have a little captive audience there and you can take a good look. But if you, and I'll give you a perfect example. It's been probably maybe 9 months, 10 months ago that I had mites in the flock. And the first one I noticed, I think it was Isabel, she was just really over preening. And so as soon as I noticed it, I was like, okay, picked her up, got Mark to hold her, and took a look, and I could see some crawling on her. I wasn't really seeing signs in anybody else, but it was late in the day, and it was. I think it was the spring. It was, so it was still getting really cool at night, and I didn't want to spray everybody and have them, happen to go to roost and be wet. So I waited till the next day, and I treated everybody. Problem solved, But if I hadn't been paying attention, it could have gotten really bad before I noticed that. I don't think that it would have gotten bad enough to kill everybody, certainly, because I am definitely more observant than that. But it's just a matter of paying attention, being present. And I know a lot of people have much busier lifestyles than I do. They have jobs and children and a lot of running around to do. But if you could just take a few minutes every single day, you might be able to prevent a tragedy from happening. I mean, sometimes, like I said, if they're isolating themselves, it could be any number of things. Maybe they're just having a bad day. I don't know if that happens with chickens, but I'm sure it does. But it might be that they're getting picked on, so you might want to pay attention. Are they eating okay? Okay, well, if they're eating all right, maybe it's just that there's a bully, that's picking on them in particular and targeting them. And so, you might have to isolate your bully for a couple of days to, sort of take that one down a notch. Maybe if you have a rooster, he has chosen that hen to be his girlfriend and he wants to overbreed her. So, you might go pay attention. Does she have any feathers being pulled out? Are there any injuries? So it's just a matter of being observant and getting to know the personalities of your individual chickens, because it's just been a couple weeks ago that I came out in the morning to let the girls out, and I am very well trained by my chickens. I bring them a little snack first thing in the morning, and I just give them, a couple handfuls of scratch. It's their favorite thing, and one of their favorite things. And every day when I let them out, I toss a little bit out for them, and Zadie didn't want any. And so I had, hey girl, come say hi. And it's not like her, it was very out of character. So I went in the house and I said, something's going on with Zadie. And Mark was like, what? And I was like, she just didn't want to eat any of their, little morning snack. And so for the rest of the day, I spent more time outside than I did inside, and I was paying attention to this Miss Georgia saying hi. You want to say hi? Is she not the cutest? And so about mid-morning, she was just still she just wasn't herself. I couldn't pinpoint anything, but I got her off to herself, and I brought her a raw egg yolk. And she ate that egg yolk like her life depended on it. Now, I had seen her actually eating her food, so she had been eating, but I don't know, do chicken? No, let's not do that. I don't know. Do chickens just get an upset stomach sometimes, But whatever was going on was quickly resolved with her. But I'm glad that I know their personalities enough to go, like something's just slightly off with her. I need to be paying attention. I need to keep my eye on that one, because sometimes it's nothing, no big deal. Maybe she ate something that disagreed with her in the yard. I have no idea, but it could have been something more serious. And that way I am paying attention enough to know I need to potentially intervene. And there's things that you can, I always kind of go through a checklist. Am I seeing her eat anything? How does her crop feel? Does she have a dirty behind? Like does she have loose stool or something like that? So there's just sort of things that you can look for. But fortunately, everything seems to be fine with her. Hi, girls. But that is my chicken keeping 101 advice for the day, is just take a few minutes every single day to just observe the members of your flock and make sure check in with everybody and make sure that they are acting like themselves. I'm very dirty now. I was clean when I came out here, and they have wiped their beaks on me and their feet. So that is my advice for the day, guys. And because I would hate to see a tragedy like what happened to that lady happen to any of you guys. I hope you are enjoying our content, and if you are, please stick around and hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss anything in the future. Have a fantastic day, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Right?